Thank you to Duval Acura for allowing me to film here today. You can find them at 11225 Atlantic Boulevard in Jacksonville, Florida. And you can check out their large inventory of new and used vehicles. If you ever find yourself in need of a new or used car, come over to Duval Acura and ask for Matt Sykes. Hello and welcome. Today we're taking an in-depth look at this 2022 Honda Civic Hatchback Sport. As I just said, this is the hatchback body style of the Honda Civic. It's a very good looking car in my opinion. Got a lot of black accents given this is the sport trim. Including these black mirrors, gloss black mirrors, these 18-inch black alloy wheels. But the main body color on this Civic is platinum white pearl and has a black fabric interior. Go ahead and give you a look at the window sticker here. Pause anywhere you need to. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at the key. So this key, a Honda key here, got your lock, unlock, your trunk unlock. So this, if you're coming up with a grocery cart or something, you can unlock your trunk. It won't open it for you, but it'll unlock just the trunk and not the rest of the doors. And then here's your remote start. So if I make sure the car is locked and hold this, starts right up. And turn it off, you just hold the button again. This car does have keyless entry, so if the car's locked and the key's in my pocket, I can come up, put my hand behind the handle, and it'll unlock. I can also touch these three ridges to lock the car. Now, stepping into this black interior, plays you a fun little chime. Go ahead, start it up, press this button here. Looking at the key fob, I do want to show you one thing. Even though it's a fob, it does still have a physical key. So if I push in this button, I can pull out the physical key here. So this can be used to unlock the door if the key fob is dead for whatever reason. So I'm just going to set that down in there. You can turn the fan speed down just a little bit here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the back seat. Just looking at this door panel here, got a nice little plastic insert. Cool circular handle there. You do get a fabric armrest and a little storage cubby down there. It's part of your 8-speaker sound system. So now stepping in the back seat, I have the driver's seat adjusted to where I would have it. And the back seat space is great. I got plenty of knee room. Thigh support is wonderful. But headroom is a little small. I've got about that much headroom left. But if I push my head all the way back, it does rest right here. I do not get any air vents back here, which is kind of unfortunate. I just get this nice blank thing, but then I've got a light here. So here, if I leave it in the middle, it'll turn on when I open the door, but if I push it to off, it will not. Got a little handle here and a hook And I got a tiny little window right there on either side. So yeah, this gas cap here, it's got a, this gas cap will actually lock with the vehicle. So when you lock the doors, the gas cap will lock as well. But talking about MPG, this car gets 29 city and 37 highway while using regular gasoline. So opening up the trunk here, this is a manual trunk. Get your all-weather floor mats sitting back here. A little storage on the side. And this is where your child seat anchor is located. You got some little tie-down points here as well. You can fold down, it's easier to do from the second row, but you can fold down these seats using those little clips right here. And I'll show you again once we're in the second row, back up around the second row. But you got a nice flat floor there. And underneath here, if you pull this up, there's a little tab in there. You can see your spare tire and your tire jack and all of that. You do get a little cargo cover, privacy cover. So coming back around here, like I said, these fold using this tab here. This door also has the keyless entry stuff. One touch down for the front window. One touch up as well. Little fabric armrest, cup holder down there. Stepping in here, you got these nice air vents and this nice trim that runs all the way along there. And you have your glove box with your Honda pouch here. A little hard to get back in here. There we go. It's your owner's manual here. So now, let's go ahead and talk about the driver's seat. So hopping in here, got your one touch up windows there. For one touch down, one touch up for the front windows, just regular for the back windows. So just regular. And they don't roll down all the way. But that's alright. Not the end of the world. So above that you've got your rear window locks, so that turns off the controls for these and in the back seat if you don't want your kids screwing around with the windows. You got your door locks here, you can lock, unlock, and then you've got your mirror controls here, so you can select left or right or just the middle, and then you can adjust left, up, down, right. Off to the left of the wheel, you got an air vent here. You can have it open or closed. Down below that, you've got your gauge cluster brightness. So I can show you. And then here I've got my road departure mitigation. And this actually pulls up the whole, all the different safety systems, so I can see my collision mitigation braking system here as well. And then beneath that, I have my traction control on off. I do have a manual tilt and telescoping wheel. So if I pull it back out, and then I can go up and down as well. And the driver's seat is manual as well. Manual up, down, and then I can adjust the seat back with this. So looking at the gauge cluster here, I've got my speedo, or my tachometer on the left, and actually the numbers light up as I go through them. So that's kind of fun. And then I've got some customability, a customizable screen through there, which I'll talk about in a minute. I've got my current time there. I've got my current speed and the speed limit located there. This will show me what drive mode I'm in, and I can switch between Econ, normal, or sport. And if I'm in sport, it kind of makes it a little more aggressive looking throughout. I mean, really, it's just that red line there, but whatever. You do have the exterior temperature, so it reads 103 degrees right now, which is crazy. And then you've got 72,000 miles on the Civic, shown by your odometer there. You've also got your what gear you're in, so reverse, neutral, drive, and if I use the paddle shifters, which only work when I'm in sport mode, that'll show what gear I'm in there. And I've got my speedometer off to the right, as well as my seatbelt warning. So, looking over to the left, here's where I can switch between several different screens in here. So I can look at my tire pressure monitoring, calibration. I can scroll through driver assist systems, meter setup, my keyless access setup. Here, like all the things I would need to set up, I can adjust and set up in here. Here I can customize the display. I can select what I want to be shown and what I don't want to be shown. Here's the screen. I can have a no content screen. And then I can tap and hold this button on the steering wheel to change the units. So if I tap and hold that, it'll change everything to the metric system. Here I can see all my warnings. Right now there are none. I can see my range, like how much gas is left in the car. And it's kind of just a tripometer here. I can see my speed and time, so another tripometer. My driver attention level, which seat belts are buckled, your maintenance, like what maintenance is due, your safety support, which is the screen I showed you earlier, and back to your settings here. Down there at the bottom, you see a gauge with showing how much gas, and then that little can with the arrow shows that or pump with the arrow shows that the gas cap is on the left side of the vehicle. So looking at your steering wheel, not a bad wheel. You got your wiper controls over here, your different intermittent settings, and one time up, like that. You got your rear wiper control as well. And then pull towards you for the front wiper fluid and twist all the way that way or all the way this way for the rear wiper fluid. Like I said earlier, you got your paddle shifters on the back of the wheel. Here you can skip between your different stations, your different presets. You got your volume control here. You can switch between AM, FM. And then this was what I was using to go through my different things in here. So this is what I can use to get to the screen, and this is what I can use to scroll and select. I push it into select, and this is what takes me to all those options by pressing the home button. You got your voice control here, and all your cruise control over here. You can set it, your distance pacing, your lane centering, all that. And here's your horn. Kind of cute little high-pitched horn there. And you got your headlight controls here. You got off, auto, your parking lights, and your headlights. You can pull towards you for the high beams, to flash your high beams, and when your lights are on and you push that way, your high beams will stay on. But nothing happens when the headlights aren't on. You got your turn signal. You can do the 3-time click or the full. So I'll go ahead and show you what all those light fixtures look like now. So, looking up here, you do have a sun visor. No light, though. And it'll come out and slide. Up here, you do not get a sunglasses holder. You got 2 little reading lights there, map lights. And your rear view mirror. And here you got your infotainment system. So this is a relatively more on the simple side of infotainment systems. Here's your radio screen, and I'll actually give you a listen to the sound system here. So, not a bad sound system in my opinion, but you got all your different presets down there, and if I can adjust the volume twisting this knob. I can turn it off by clicking that, and then here I can scroll through my different stations. I can also select through stations using this, and if I push in, I can get to my list. So going here, I can see my, if a phone is connected, by clicking that button there. I can go to the radio by clicking that button. If I have Bluetooth connected, I can get to that by clicking media. And then here is where I can connect a smartphone with USB. Here I've got my menu. So here are all my different settings, my sound settings. That's where I can access the bass, treble, balance, all that stuff. There's a little back button there. I can scroll through my clock settings, smartphone settings, display adjustment, and then I've got all other things in here as well. Down here I've got 2 air vents, and my hazard switch, and I can adjust that using that. And like I mentioned earlier, it's a nice trim that runs all the way down. I've got all my AC controls here. Got my temperature, my recirculating air, my front defroster, my rear defroster, and I can turn the AC off to just have the fans blowing. Here I can adjust where I want the air to blow. And then my fan speed here. Down below, you got my I've got my airbag sensor for the passenger seat, a USB port, and a 12-volt outlet. Moving the key out of the way, I've got a nice rubberized storage tray down there. I've got 2 cup holders with a little pass-through through the middle, and my gear shifter. I can go into reverse. I can see I got my backup camera with trajectory lines. Got a little wider angle there. And I've got a close-up if I need to get real close to a wall for whatever reason. I got my neutral and drive. And interesting enough, I don't have to pull this trigger behind to switch between neutral and drive. But if I'm in drive and I'm in sport mode, that's when I can use my paddle shifters. And then this is my drive mode selector here. And my automatic engine start stop on and off. And here I have my electronic parking brake and my brake hold. So what this will do is if I'm in drive, and this car requires you to have your seatbelt on for this to work. So to demonstrate, I'm gonna buckle up here. But if I click this button, see, it eliminates green down there. Now, if I take my foot off the brake, the car stays still. It's in drive, but it's not going anywhere. And if I accidentally click the button, it stays on. I have to put my foot on the brake and click it again, and now the car will roll. So putting it back in park, I can open this up and see, let me get unbuckled here. I can see my center console, and a little Easter egg with the Civic is I actually have a little image of the first gen Civic. So that's fun to see. Well, pulling this closed, that sums up pretty much all the features of the Honda Civic Hatchback Sport. So now let's go ahead and talk about the engine. To access the engine bay, you're going to want to reach down here and find this tab and pull that up or out. You're going to walk around to the front here. There's a tab in here, right about here, and you're going to pull it to the right. Once you open that up, there's a little stick hanging there, and you can push that into there. Now, if you need to service the car, you can put it down in that hole to make the hood go even higher up, and that will make it easier to work on the engine. But the engine in question that you're looking at here is a 2-liter inline 4. It puts out 158 horsepower and 138 pound-feet of torque. It'll carry the Civic from 0 to 60 in 8.8 seconds. It's paired to a CVT transmission and has a front-wheel drive drivetrain. So now let's go ahead and give it a listen. I just want to say thank you again to Duval Acura for allowing me to film here today. And I want to thank you guys for watching this tour of the 2022 Honda Civic Sport, Civic Hatchback Sport. You all have a good one. Bye-bye.